This is the Stereosis.
If a private individual like Tony Elumelu is actually out there impacting and then training future entrepreneurs, how much more now there could be an incentive system in which probably the most performing core member out of the bulk, you win this and then
instead of us learning most of those things now, like you see there are a lot of problems in states like waste management and all those kind of things.
Yes.
Then governments can bring all those kind of problems and allow those guys to solve them.
Yes, of course.
Bring solutions to them. And
yes.
That's what should be discussed.
You just mentioned waste management. Waste.
Yes.
Waste abroad is good business. It's a very lucrative business.
Some states are doing.
Yes, even I saw one in around 9 Mile some days ago. I was a little bit impressed, even though their focus was on plastic materials. There are other ones too.
Recycling.
Yeah, you see, not actually even recycling. You see people picking them. That means that there is a company somewhere working on in buying and recycling them. Now, if instead of government taking me and then imagine both of us had been trained in recycling, in the technology.
Yeah.
By now, what we should have been doing is, keep the environment clean.
Yeah.
Because when you go around maybe the metropolis, the city where you live, and then you're picking some of those waste, people will discover that this is money.
Yeah.
Sometime last year, I learned that carton was money. How many times do you walk around the street and you see cartons lying fallow?
I see people packing everything.
Yeah, they always pack it.
Yeah.
Now, if instead of keeping me somewhere, you could train me in a skill like this, and then we are helping solve some societal problems and all those. Instead of maybe you see an engineer, you just take him and then you go to schools and he's teaching mathematics. You're telling an engineer, civil engineer, to go teach physics and all the rest.
But some of the schools also survive with the core membership. Purely.
Now, if a school does not have the capacity to employ teachers, it should fold.
Well, I don't know.
By the way, they are taking the core members to exploit them because, in fact, it's exploitation in its own point.
But
do you know why I call it exploitation?
Why?
Now, the federal government is paying them. And then you, as a proprietor or a proprietress who owns a school, you can choose to either pay them or not to pay them.
Yes.
And then you're collecting school fees from the parents of those children. And you're collecting some other levies from the parents of those children. And then you don't want to pay. So that you can just give them the core members peanuts. You see?
But I sat in a government school and I was surprised.
Okay.
And the teachers were very few teachers, like 6 teachers in the school.
Okay.
6. And the mathematics teacher was studying.
All right.
So, and it was just very few teachers, and the principal actually wanted science students.
Okay.
So he applied for it. So from the LG, it's called LG.
Okay.
So when we came, the man was like, guys, I just need science students. I'm having problems with my school. I was like, man, why can't you guys employ teachers?
There was a paucity of funds.
And the man told me
doesn't have money.
No, so the Ministry of Education. He's the principal of his school. He's a government school.
Okay.
So they post teachers to him. He's just doing his best because of his wife students and all those ones. I said, a lot of people don't have work in Nigeria. People study education, maybe first class, they don't have work. What can these guys have? And I was shocked. I was taking physics, mathematics, the one they call career studies and all those things. I just sometimes technical drawing. And some of the core members also were like 7 in school. Some of them, in some of the schools, they are not used to doing some of the schools. They want to study theater, they don't famous those kind of things. I want to study tourism.
Okay.
And
for someone who studied theater art could actually take on literature.
They have
English literature. Okay.
They have a literature teacher in school. and teacher will tell you, and the man actually wanted physics or chemistry, all those ones.
The school will turn that copper to a disciplinarian. They must find a role to assign to
No,
you.
there was a guy that studied building tech.
Yeah.
I think TD, and they don't offer the TD. So since I was thinking,
Okay.
the man asked him to take physics, he doesn't want to take physics. So
Alright.
I think he ended up taking geography.
All right.
Geography, and then we continued some one guy biology, and I think like if you in that situation now, you see the school actually needs the compass to survive.
Okay.
And I think they're mostly in the north and even in the south here. In some of the schools.
No, if you tell us that we should continue the program so that we can actually fill up the gap, the shortfall in teachers in the north or in some private institution, then it's still very useless.
Yeah.
Now, if you need teachers,
You
go get trained teachers. There are a lot of them that studied NCE and then some other education programs. Those are the people you should go and get, not core members. They are not trained in the act of teaching.
I had to
impartation. Now you see a core member might have the knowledge, but he doesn't know how to.
I will share my experience with you. Remember one time I had to go get little knowledge of teaching.
Okay.
We want to teach maths, and I was shocked that I didn't know anything concerning teaching. The man told me, "Do I know what's called board management?" Sorry, it was my dad. He said, "Do you know what's called board management?" I said, "No." He said, "Mathematics is a very hard subject to students. So you don't write long sentences when you're teaching mathematics. I know when they divide the body into 3 or 4. So you must do it because like if you're taking literature or there, but those guys will get tired, you get bored with all those guys. So you make it shorter. It has a psychological effect, and I never knew anything like that. And these are the things. He said these are the basic things they teach you when you go to university. You're a teacher preparing to become a teacher. So he said you're an engineer, you're not.
No, I still, irrespective of all the sweet sounding tales about the NYSC experiences, I still insist that the government should scrap this program, replace it with a program that gives you a practical experience. Be it in trading, even if it's cloth making, wood making, anybody can learn it, whether whatsoever.
I think the issue of learning, I partly buy into your idea. I don't think you should spend 4 years in school after all the EED and other things we did in school, entrepreneurship education, all those ones. This thing, they should try funding these guys small money. If you calculate how much they spend feeding you in camp, buying the oversized khaki and all those things, and the boots and all those things, I know that
that one is actually a government contract where someone is actually there milking the government entirely.
We take close like 2-3 billion if the actual budget they call them. I don't know. I don't have the actual. But I know it's more than $1 million. So if that's the case, why can't that money be spent wisely, like giving to the guy? And another thing I don't like is the issue of soldiers training us. If you want to join military, for God's sake, when you are done, you go and join military. All this marching up and down. I was always asking the soldiers, what for? What is this for? If I need to train, if I want to become a soldier, I go for short service when I'm done. I don't understand
the problem too. Another issue is that you after the training you will never even be recruited into the army or it becomes very difficult. It's still the same process.
They have a program for graduate now, the short service.
Yes, which we are all aware about the one.
So if you want to join, but the idea of I still don't understand why we should match.
It's confusing. I refuse to match. I told them I was asthmatic then because I didn't want to match.
I didn't understand why you know very early in the morning, come and match. You do all these kind of things just for what?
It's tiring,
and somebody said they are training you, concreting discipline after a graduate.
What level after? Then what's the purpose of the university? Is it not to teach you the art of discipline?
And if you want to join military, you go join. If you want to join police, you go join the police. It's simple as that.